Hey, Chris Jenkins, credential member of the media, aka man of the people, which means I work for you and I love working for the Carolina Panther fans. Covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe. Today is Tuesday, June 14th. Carolina Panthers got underway with day one of the mandatory minicamp. And in attendance, I won't leave you hanging. In attendance was the chosen one. At least that's similar to his online handle. Robby Anderson was there. So today, I'm gonna take you through my day of watching the practice and also talking with the players. Gonna be trying something new with sharing some multimedia. First time doing it. Hopefully it goes off without a hitch. If it does, we'll change it up, buy a new computer, do something to make sure that you guys get to see the content in a great way that you come to expect and that I want you to have. So how's everybody out there doing today as we get near hump day? Just making sure that everything's working right. So if you have not already done so, please hit the like button. If you already subscribed to the channel, it's a good way to help other fans find out about me. And the bigger that I grow, the more I can do for you, the fans. So please, I encourage you to spread the word about Charlotte Vibe. Ask me questions. You'll see that I do really enjoy working with you. And if you see me out and about, please say hello. But let's go ahead and go through some things today. Let me make sure I got everything uploaded correctly. Let's see. It looks like I did. So, first thing is shouts out to, did my camera change a little bit? Shout out to Mother Nature, God, for keeping us cool, or cooler than it was expected to be today. It was supposed to be like over 100 degrees, heat index, I'm sure it was going to be probably like 105, 110. We had rain that came in, which was supposed to come in, but it knocked out, I don't know the meteorologist talk for it, but it gave us some temporary relief. It still got hot, still got sweaty, but was not near as bad as it was supposed to be. And also, let's shout out the Carolina Panthers PR team. You see this right here? That, my friends, is a much appreciated water cooler that the Carolina Panthers PR staff had out for us. Normally, they have not had that out in the past, and I went through several bottles today. So shout out to them. All right, let's go ahead and get into my observations for the OTAs today. And I've talked about this in the past, how where our view is, the media, and what we can and cannot see and how difficult it is. Decided to take a picture of that today so I can show you that a little bit more clearly. Wrong picture, that's media water cool. This is the view that we have. So you will see right now on the field to the right, there's basically nobody within, I don't know, 40, 50 yards, and the people that you see are pretty small. You look to the left, and if you notice, when I do a lot of pictures, you might see linemen more oftentimes than not. That's because they are the ones that are closest. I can't really get the defense unless I get them when they're in the bubble warming up, which you will see. And hey, plug. Social media links are on the video description. If you're not following me on Twitter or Instagram, I post different stuff on there more frequently than I will on YouTube, so please check that out. But you'll see immediate to the left, that's the offensive linemen that are typically in that area. Sometimes you'll get a little bit of the defensive linemen on that small field right behind them. The bubble to the left really blocks everything else, and then you see in the very far distance, that's where the defense is. So from that perspective, hopefully that allows you to see why sometimes I say I can't see everything. I'll have binoculars with me, but when there's things are so far away and so many people are in front of you, it kind of hinders you from seeing everything that you really would like to see. So I will share some things. Oh, let me go ahead and share, try this video share, see how well this works. And I'm sure you guys will give me feedback if you don't like it, but I think you'll like it. All right, so first thing I'm going to show you is practice today, and OTAs started off in the bubble, and a lot of players had what they call vet days, meaning if you've been around for more than a day or two, you get to take a day off. So here you'll see Shaq Thompson and Brian Byrne, these two guys, they were having some vet days today. Also, let's go ahead and show this because everybody wants to know. Earlier this week, and I'm going to get into what Coach Rule said about it, Robby Anderson tweeted that he's thinking about retiring. I can't wait till we get a chance to talk to him, because I do have a feeling that whether or not you like what he says, that he's going to speak truthfully about that tweet, if he does. But here it is, Robby Anderson running routes at practice today. Did some work off to the side, and his new number 3 that you'll see right there. So Robby Anderson was in the building today, and you know what? What's showing some Carolina Panthers highlights without showing the quarterbacks? Here we go, Matt Corral dropping back, taking a little throw. So some extra little trinkets there, tidbits of information shared with you guys about this Carolina Panthers practice today in good old Charlotte, North Carolina. Let me just go ahead and go through my notes today from some things and observations that I had doing practice today. Alrighty. Also, let me check the comments here really quickly. Taima Johnson had their man of the people. I hope it wasn't too hot out there today. Taima, they did keep us a little bit cool today with the water coolers being out there, so I do appreciate that. We might have to get your name changed though. How was Matt Corral looking? So I'm going to go into that in a little bit. Thanks, Meech, for the question. What's up, Anthony Rochelle? I'm doing pretty good. Looked like you had a vacation there, man. So that's nice to see your vacation. So I'll come back to some more of these in a little bit, but just want to check in on the comments. So a lot of guys weren't dressed up today. As you saw there earlier, I showed a picture of Brian Burns and Shaq Thompson doing some drills while the other players were dressed. So Coach Rule said that today was a vet day for a lot of guys for a lot of different reasons. Some guys because they played late into the season on other teams and they want to watch their reps. Other guys because they've had a lot of reps in practice. Some guys because of having some surgeries recently and things like that. So nevertheless, I won't swear this is an all comprehensive list, but this was all that I could see today and observe of guys that had vet days. It would have been J.C. Horn, Dante Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, Brian Burns, DJ Moore, Ian Thomas, and Shaq Thompson. So I'll repeat that one more time. These are guys, again, that I observed having vet days today. That would have been J.C. Horn, Dante Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, Brian Burns, DJ Moore, Ian Thomas, and Shaq Thompson. Coach Rule did go on to say that the guys that had vet days will likely continue to have some of those throughout the rest of this week. And those guys that are a lot of times not practicing due to vet days as part of his new player-led team, those guys are being actively involved in coaching the other players that are on the team. And I had a pretty good picture of that earlier today. Let me see if I can grab it really quick. It was a really good picture that shows just that, as far as the guys that are taking vet days, coaching the other guys along. I think I can quickly find it here. And now I don't see it. Oh, here it is. Here it is. See if I can get this up for you. Coming up in 1 second here. All right, so right here you'll see Ikem Ekwonu, first round pick, right in the middle. Right to his right, the guy with the bucket hat and gray shirt is no other than Taylor Moton. Two very, very huge guys. And then not far from him, you'll see Mays, also another draft pick this year on the team. But that's an example of the coaching that you saw take place today out on the field with those guys having those vet days. All right, let me see if I can go back to this question here. This question, how is Matt Corral looking? So Matt Corral, any of these guys that I'm going to comment about, I won't say take it with a grain of salt. Just don't get too deep into the reports that I have about observations, because they are in shorts, they are not having contact, and they're really just doing an advanced install, okay? So the real test comes when the other guy, the guy across the other side, you can actually hit you. If you're a quarterback, that's not the case, but still, you get some pressure. You get guys that are being defended a little bit more aggressively, where the quarterback has to make good decisions. Matt Corral did have some hiccups today. He's still learning a lot. I did see one time where he missed a guy when they were just doing drills. He was a little short. Overall, it didn't look like the best day, but it did not look like a bad day. And for me, overall, it just looked like guys practicing, trying to get, learn a new system and things of such. So there's an answer for you there, Matt. I'm sorry, Meech. Anthony Rochelle, you've been seeing the mini camps. So yes, I get to see all of mini camp. So that's 3 days of mini camp. And during OTAs, media was able to see one OTA per week. So I think I saw 3 OTAs, and today was the first of 3 days that will be for mini camps. And I'll share with you as much as I can, answer as many questions as I can. Today I'll be going to 5:30. I got daddy duty. I got to go pick up baby CJ from the daycare, which is cool. They know me at the daycare, which is cool. All right, and more worship. Back at you, my man. Let's see. Chris, spring has sprung and fall has fell. Summer is here. It's hotter than you. Yeah, man. It was hot, but I love what I do. I'm gonna continue to do for it, and looking at ways to increase. Usually, when they go down to Spartanburg, I'm not down there too often because it's such a long ride. It's so hot, but I know you all want more content, so I'm going to continue to figure out a way to get you some more content. All right. Bozeman being absent, I didn't get that in my notes. I know he was absent. Wasn't able to get that in my notes. I'm going to have to follow up with you on that one. Sorry, I don't have the answer for you right now. What's up, Kent? What's up, Shelly? Shelly Long says, did you see Baker in the parking lot? No, I did not see Baker Mayfield in the parking lot. Lot to talk about Baker Mayfield. You know me, as soon as I know something very concrete or he's here, we'll definitely go into more talks about that. And man, I wish I had Robby Anderson's number, but I don't. What's up, Chris Johnson? All right, so a few more notes. Was able to see, so today was a lot. Again, it was a hard day to make observations on players a lot because of that graphic that I showed you. And I'll show you one more time on my vantage point when watching practice is this right here. And you probably say, well, I don't see much, and that's exactly my point. But even today, there was a lot of individual drills. It wasn't a lot of team stuff. It wasn't a lot of 7-on-7. Wasn't a lot of 11-on-11, and they actually ended just a few minutes early. So to say deeply how a guy looks, I don't have that privilege right now to do so. But still seeing false starts. Saw a false start on the offensive line today. Didn't get a chance to see who it was, but I did see it happen. Number 28, which was my man Keith Taylor. Keith Taylor had a good practice today with a few pass breakups, and I think I had a note here that he had also had a pass breakup during a team session. So number 28, also known as Keith Taylor Jr., had some good energy and some good plays today. Also had a note here, Jared Scott, tight end. He dropped a pass today. Didn't get to see who it was from, but saw Jared Scott drop a pass. He kind of bobbled it, couldn't quite pull it in during some of the team sessions. And then, as someone noted, Bozeman wasn't there today. I think F-line was at center. I am not 100% positive, okay, so I want to emphasize that. But basically what I saw was a bad snap in the shotgun. All right, so, good things, these things could be happening now. Guys can feel the pressure from the other players jumping on them because Matt Rule talked about this player-led team, meaning if a guy jumps off sides, like I read here earlier, it's a false start, bad snap. Players, leaders on this team have been given the freedom to get on that player, so the coach doesn't have to, or they don't have to wait for the coach. But it's something else when your co-worker, so to say, is getting on you. So you saw a little bit of that out there today, and Shaq Thompson talked about just trying to help the team, everybody wants to win, and they're just trying to do their part, helping this team win and helping the brand continue to be built in the process to go through. So those were my notes from today. I know it's not a ton of notes, but hopefully I compensated for you with the with the videos and the pictures. Now to move on to some of the players that we had a chance to talk to. Christian McCaffrey was first up, and he spoke about the diversity of the running back room, saying that there's a lot of diversity there as far as guys having strength, being strong, being fast, being quick, being able to catch balls out the backfield. It makes you able to do a lot with the ball when you have running backs with the kind of talent that they have. So he likes that. And also spoke highly of Terrace Marshall. He said not only has he grown physically, but he's known that he's grown. I feel like I'm backwards here. Not only has he grown physically, but he's also grown mentally, and he's looking quite impressive. And that's Terrace Marshall being talked about by Christian McCaffrey. I also had a chance to talk to Frankie Luvo, a guy that wasn't drafted. You know, guys that aren't drafted often can have a chip on their shoulder. All these guys will do anything they can to maintain a competitive edge. And he said this mentality when he came to Carolina was like, hey, whose job can I take? I'm taking somebody's job. I need a role. And says that that's his mentality even now that he's been signed, is whose job can he take or maintain his role, and just being really, really hungry. And even said, hey, if I can help out, if coach want to give me some more responsibility so I can help out with, I believe it was Chin that he said, then he wants to do that. But currently he's learning all three of the positions for linebacker, and is just as hungry to contribute to this team. Shaq Thompson was up. The Carolina Panthers had I forget exactly what they called it, but it was like a field day that they had a couple days ago. And he said that was great to be able to have that field day because, and I've heard guys say this more than one time, so I'm glad that the Carolina Panthers had a chance to do this. But they said it's great when you can know the guy that you're playing beside, know their why, know their story, know what they're going through, know their family, and things like that. And when they first started, even though COVID is kind of getting in the rearview mirror, they didn't have the opportunities to do those kind of things as terms of spending time with players. So they were able to do that with the field day, and Coach Rule even mentioned that with that field day, it also helped the team. Like maybe, you're always used to practicing with the linebackers, you're always used to being with the wide receivers, and things like that are the groupings by position is also held throughout the locker room. But when you have the field day like they had, it allows players in different positions to be able to mix with players on the other side of the ball or in different positions that they might not get a chance to be with. And it just, relationships, it helps when you build a relationship, everybody to be able to take criticism, to want to play harder. So lots of good things. And Shaq Thompson commented about his happiness that they had that field day the other day. And he also has mentioned, Shaq Thompson that CJ Henderson has stepped up big, and see a lot of his confidence has grown. And he also gave props to Coach Wilkes and encouraging the secondary to say, hey, for this secondary to work, for us to really excel, we all have to talk. We all have to communicate. We can't have guys back here seeing something but not telling another guy. And he sees that kind of coaching from Wilkes being effective and carrying through to CJ Henderson. Last up, we have Coach Rule, who spoke with the media for a little bit. Come on, computer, don't mess up on me. Coach Rule, let's just jump right to the Robby Anderson, who again tweeted about thinking of retirement. And Coach Rule, to me, this is my observation, this isn't any inside sources, seemed like he might have been agitated with what happened with Robby tweeting that. Again, this is Chris Jenkins' perception. This is not inside sources or anything that he specifically said, but just the way in which he responded to the questionings regarding that, and then kind of shut it down, saying he's not going to speak for Robby, saying that, hey, he's coached in college before, so he doesn't really get into everybody's tweets, doesn't even look at all the tweets. Now, he did say he was made aware of that tweet by Robby, but didn't want to go into details about how he personally felt, and just say, hey, the guy's here, and they're bringing him along. He had some work by himself off to the side today, which you saw in that video. Let me see if I can show you that video one more time with Robby kind of practicing off to the side today. Give me 2 seconds. Alrighty. So yeah, here we go. Here's some video of Robby practicing off to the side today. Said that they're going to bring Robby along, not too slowly, but they're going to take his time. He's a guy that's been here before. So there you see Robby just kind of working through some things. Said he also came into camp with a little bit of hip soreness. So, again, not something that they're going to try to rush, or not that they're going to rush him through. Let him take his time and continue to get into the playbook and get reacquainted with the team. Seeing any other notes here. He touched on Sam Darnold. When asked about Sam this week compared to last week, because he mentioned that Sam had a really good day last week that stood out to him, and just mentioned that with Sam, they're looking to see him continue to grow and mature and be able to handle adversity. At this point, I'm just going to let it be known, I'm not the biggest cheerleader of Sam Darnold being a quarterback, because I feel like we have to create too much of a perfect situation for him to succeed. That's what I'm starting to observe. So that's why I'm not becoming the biggest cheerleader of Sam. But Coach Rule talked about continuing to see Sam be able to do well in adversity. There's been things talked about with his feet, but he did like today that Sam saw somebody not really run the right route, so he checked off to a guy and wants to see Sam continue to build on being successful during adversity. I think that's really going to end for now for everything that I had. I did mention that Matt Corral has a lot to learn, so not really ready to say when he feels that he'll see Matt Corral being able to compete for that quarterback position. Hadn't had those talks with him, but right now just wants Matt to just be narrow focused, take things day by day, step by step, and then later on we'll get a bigger picture to look at and see things. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is my report for day 1 of minicamp. If you haven't subscribed, please turn that phone sideways, hit the button, do what you can, hit that subscribe button. I'm telling you, the bigger I grow, the more that I can do for you guys, and I love doing everything that I can in order to answer questions. So I want to be the best source for fans of the Carolina Panthers to get good answers from a media that's credentialed, that's there in the locker room, at the games, every day. So let me see what questions have popped up that I can answer before I get out of here. Go through DJ to get to Robby. I don't think that's possible. Hey, but as media people, we'll do whatever we can ethically, at least for me, ethically to get there. Is Shi Smith officially off the team, Shelly? No, he is not officially off the team. Did you see how the running backs looked today? These guys, the running backs, the whole team really did not have a lot of team drills. There's no live tackling during OTAs and minicamp. So I didn't see any drops from the running backs today. I know in the past I've seen some from Chuba, but I didn't see any drops from the running backs today, so I can't report on that. Lionheart loves Wilkes. Yeah, Wilkes. For him to point out Wilkes already, to me that speaks volumes for how good of a coach Wilkes can be. Is there a code of conduct with players posting on social media? No, there's not, and I'm quite sure that they go to give these guys some freedom of hey, you're a grown man, you can do what you want, it's your account. Again, Coach Rule said he doesn't himself look at it. I'm not. Now that's not at all to say that there's not a team of people that is looking at this to bring it to his attention of something that may be worthy of Coach needing to know about, such as Robby saying I'm thinking about retiring, but. There's no code of conduct with players on social media. Jeffrey, great video again. Thanks for your time. Real football comes when pads come off. I think you mean when the pads get on. Anyway, I know what you're talking about. Please tell me not trading Action Jackson for Baker. I know there's some Baker Mayfield talk out there that I haven't heard yet, but I've not heard anything of the such. Lynn agrees with me regarding Sam. Yeah, Sam, and maybe, I'm getting near my time to have to go pick up my son, but it's not that I don't like Sam. But I just feel like we have to have things too perfect, and this is where I get upset about it. It's like you're in the NFL, you're at the highest level of competition, you're paid an amount of money that any one of us watching this video would love to make, even for 1 year, or just get a 1 game check. Okay, so you should be able to perform outside of things being ideal and perfect, and I'm not seeing that with Sam, and I feel like, yeah, let me move on. Come on, man, you were doing good till you said Sam. Now we got to start all over. You appreciate me? Appreciate the more worship? All right, have a great rest of your day. So, hey, appreciate everybody going to pick up the little man. We'll be back out to practice again tomorrow. We'll be in Spartanburg in a little bit over a month. Thanks, everybody, for watching. It's Chris Jenkins reporting for Charlotte Vibe.